Hey guys, welcome back to the Texas State Theory Test, Level 4. In this video, we're going to be going over questions 5 and 6. So let's get started. In question 5, it says, on the line below each measure, name the interval. Example, second, third, fourth, fifth, or octave. Now, before we get into this question, we need to figure out what an interval is. So let us review. An interval is simply this. The distance, see if I can spell, distance between two notes. Alright, the distance between two notes. That's all an interval is. Just remember that definition. So, let's use that definition and figure out what the answer to the first one is. When we're trying to figure out the interval of the two notes, we have to count the notes themselves and the lines and spaces in between. So, in this one, we have a space here, and we have a space here. But if you notice, that's not all. We have a line in between those two spaces. So we have to count 1, 2, 3. Space, line, space. So that is a third. In this one, we have a space here, and we have a space here. Even though there's no note drawn there, it's still in between these two notes. And we have a line and a line. Alright, so if we count them all, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you could count going up. It's the same distance either way. So this would be a fourth. On this one, we have a space, and a line going in between those two. So we have 1, 2, 3. A third. Not that hard. And the next one, it's the smallest one. We have a space, and we have a line. So, count 1, 2. That's a second. Here, we have a space, and another space, and a line, and a line. Alright? So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a fourth. And the last one, we have a space here, and a space here, and a line, another line, and another line. So, let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. That's a fifth. Okay. I hope that explains the fifth question. That will be on the test. You will not have to worry about sixths or sevenths. There were no octaves in this particular example, but sometimes on the grade 4 test they will have an octave, at least one. You don't really need to know what the clef sign is for this particular question, because the clef sign isn't going to change the distance between the notes. It's just going to change the name of the notes that the interval is showing. Alright? So don't worry too much about the clef sign, but just make sure you count the lines and spaces in between the notes and the notes themselves. Alright, let's move on to question number 6. Question number 6 states, on the lines below the staff, name the distance between each pair of notes as whole or half steps. Use W for whole step or H for half step. Look at the clef sign. Now this one you do need to look at the clef sign. Alright, what I'm going to do, since we've already read the question, I'm going to quickly draw a keyboard here, and then we're going to use that to help us. So, give me just 1 second. Alright, so now that I have the keyboard drawn, let's get to this. Now, we need to figure out whether it is a half step or a whole step. So let's review what a half step is. I purposely did not color in the black keys because it just makes it easier to see. So a half step goes from one key to the very next key, either to the right or to the left. So from C to C sharp is a half step. From D to C sharp is also a half step. I can go up or down. Now, a whole step is just 2 half steps. So, if I went from D to D sharp right here, and then I went from D sharp to E, that would be 2 half steps. So, this would be a half step right here, and that would be a half step right here, and together, that makes a whole step. Okay, so we use W for whole, and then we can use, you know, H for half. So from here to here, that would be a half step. Alright? Alright, so let me just erase that real quick. I guess it doesn't go back that far. Alright. There we go. Okay. Oh, wait, what happened? Okay, so let's start answering the questions. Alright, the questions here, make sure we look at the clef sign. The clef sign, we are in the bass clef, so remember the lines for the bass clef are good birds don't fly away or good burritos don't fall apart, and the spaces are all cows eat grass. So we need to figure out what the note names are before we can determine whether it's a half step or a whole step. So this one is on the second space, all cows, so this is a C right here for the first note, and then it's good birds don't. So that would be a D flat. I'm going to do this in a different color than black just because it would be easier to see. So that's good birds don't. That's a D flat. And this is all cows. So that right here, that's a C. Alright, so from C to D flat. Well, we already kind of did that here. C to D flat right here. Remember, a flat means to go down a half step. C to D flat, that would be a half step. So we put H. Alright, now in the next one, let's figure out what the note names are. We have all cows eat grass. So that's a G sharp right here. And then we have good birds don't fly away. That is an A sharp. So let's find G and A. Here's G right here. But that's not what we want. We want G sharp, so we're going to go up to here. This is G sharp. And here's A. And we're going to go up to A sharp. So what is the distance from here to here? Well, G sharp is on a black key, and then we have a white key in between, and then we have another black key. So that is a whole step because there is something in between it. Alright? So that's a whole step. Next one, we have good burritos don't. That's a D. And then all cows eat. That's an E flat. E flat. So D to E flat. Well, first we have to find D, which is right here. There's D. And here's E, but we don't want E. We want E flat. Remember, a flat lowers a note 1/2 step. So D to E flat. This is a half step. Alright. So we're going to put an H right here. Let's do the next one. Good burritos or good birds. That's a B. And this is all cows eat grass. So that's A. B to A. We would go, here's B, here's A. There's something in between right here, in between these two notes. So this is a whole step. Alright, last two. Here we have a G, good, and then an A flat. So we have G to A flat right here. This is A flat. So this is a half step. I'm going to put an H right here. And the last one, we have F to G flat. So here's F, good burritos don't fall or good birds don't fly. That's an F. And then here, all cows eat grass. G flat. Alright, F to G flat. Here's F. Here's G flat. So that right there is a half step. Alright guys, that was questions 5 and 6. I hope this helps you out with your studying. Don't forget to keep practicing, and I will see you in the next video.